Yeah, hi, it's Stuart from Top Shelf. So today we're looking at our new range of stair nosings. It's designed for stairs where you've got a wall or a string on one side and the other side is open. It's always been the mission to try and work out with engineered floors how to finish this side. Now we've got the solution here, so we'll step through it step by step, and this can work on any set of stairs and they will be customised on the job. So the start of this is the product. We have wrapped the edge right the way around, and we've also going to supply with just a bit of support for the construction phase, and also helps with transport. So this will get removed once it's all cut to size. The bottom face is the same thickness of the board. So we've got a 15mm board, we've got a 15mm bottom, which gives us a 30mm face. Okay, so with the riser, we've done the same thing. We've got a double thickness riser with a 15mm bottom, a 30mm face, and the front edge. So to get started, okay, so what we'll do is we'll send you a diagram so you can measure the whole flight of stairs, every riser, every tread. So you measure both sides. So this side we've got 287 and it's 284. Quite common, like with a lot of set of stairs, old or new. So critical to write down both dimensions. With the riser, we're looking at 170 and 169. Okay, so you write all of those down, and what we'll do is we'll work off your largest size and still give you an extra 10mm of play, so you can just customise them on the job. Alrighty, so what you need to do is you need to measure every tread, every riser, both sides, because things will vary. This is 270 and this one's 272. Okay, so with that I would then, this tread will be going on this one, so I'm going to add the 15mm for the thickness of the bottom. So I've got 270, so I'm going to go 285. I've got 272, plus my 15, I get to 287. 287. Right. I'm going to do a straight line on there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is measure the width of the stair. So I'm looking at 400 and 400. Okay, once again, we've got a 15mm overhang here, so we need to add that 15mm onto it. So I'm measuring back from this side, so we're going to go 415 and 415. Now, you can always give yourself a minute or two of play there to make sure you are butting hard against this side, and if there was a 1mm gap underneath here, that's easier to deal with then a 1mm gap on this side, but you can always use a bit of the right colour match caulking colour. Okay. Alright, so this is our waist side here, and cut that off there as well. At the very end part of it, this is going to come along at our 400, and then there's going to be a little tail that goes around the corner. Right, my 400 to there, and that will be right on my 15mm, which is the same thickness of the bottom. Right, so we left this overhang here as well. This will get docked down once you get the right height for the riser. So what I'll do now is I'll go out the saw, I'll cut this down, I'll be back shortly. Alright, so I've just come back from the saw bench. One thing I should mention is it's really critical to have a brand new sharp blade, probably at least a 60-tooth blade. If you are a table saw guy, you will be running it through, and sometimes you don't want to start blowing out the edges. That's critical, but lucky at the back here, all of these cuts will always be covered up by the riser. So you've got a bit of room for tolerance. Plus you've also got the thickness of the riser that will be covering that. And that can always come back into play as well. If there is a bit of variation, you can, so if the stairs were 270, 273, you can always make it the smaller dimension and a 3mm gap here isn't going to matter when you've got a 14mm or a 15mm riser going on there. So really critical, have a sharp blade. Two options are you're running a table saw or you're running a rip saw and rail on some sawhorses. Both can be done, and a jigsaw to finish off the little corner. Okay, so now we're up to doing the risers. Critical once again, nice sharp blade. Measure yourself in 2 points. So for the bottom one, we were at 137, 137. We measure those on there, mark them out on the table saw. Nice sharp blade, minimise any of the splintering that happens on the edge here. And then we can put those in position, like so. And what looks really neat is if you actually pull the tread forward a bit and give yourself about a 3mm little spacing here to where that router sort of brings it back, rather than trying to make things look dead square. That looks good. And then what we need to do is mark on the side here where our little tail comes around. So we'll mark that there. And then what we've got to do is we also will supply some of the veneer to go onto here, because once you've cut this side, you don't want to see the ply at the end. So we give you some of the veneer, which is just cut off by cutting a piece, the thickness of that, which is 30mm, then run that through the table saw to give you a thin veneer. And then you can cut it down on the job into little 15 by 30s, which once again, a sharp blade, nice and slow. And once that cut, that can be put on there. So finished all the way around in the right type of flooring. It's adjustable on the job, so I'll do the next few cuts, I'll bring it back in, we'll show you how it looks. Alright, so just come back from the saw, we cut this down. One thing worth noting, you want to cut it about 2mm short, so it will allow for the thickness of the veneer to go on. Because you want to get most of these jobs done in a day, it normally takes about a day to do a staircase. Things like Fixall Turbo, T-Rex Turbo, same product. Sadal also have a 2C, really fast acting instant grab adhesive. Bit on the back here, put that on. Most of these will only take 20 minutes or so to dry. And then when that's all nice and flush, you can then just sand that down. We can probably supply you a little bit of this colour, which will come with it, and that way you can touch up the end of it. Okay, so the beauty of this system is, what it allows you to do is really customise it on the job. We will just make it 10mm larger than your bigger step, and that way, depending on all the variations that are there, you can make it work on the job and cover up all of these average looking edges and make it look like a solid timber floor. So thanks for watching, and we'll keep posting more content.